love coffee. What's going on, everyone? Back at it again with another video here. And in this video, I want to discuss my E Revo 2.0. Okay, so this is going to be a long-term review. I have had this rig now for over 3 months, and I've really been putting it through its paces. Truck's been great, but it has definitely had its share of problems along the way, and I will list all these problems, pros, cons, all that stuff in this video. Okay, so overall, I love the truck. Has lots of power, handles great, does backflips, and all that fun stuff. In the beginning, I was a little let down because it was braking a lot. Mostly, it was due to my driver error. I was not landing good or any of that type of stuff. After some time now, I have really got the truck under control, got used to it, and I'm getting a lot better landings on the big jumps, and it's been holding up pretty good. I have a short list here. This is all the stuff that I've broken. The first thing I did was the stock tires. I shredded those and the foam was coming out, so I replaced the tires. Push rods, push rods, push rods. You're going to break a lot of push rods at this truck. They seem to bend more at the rod end. You do not have to replace it right away. You can get some more usage out of it. You can always try a hammer, straighten them out. Anytime A-Main has them in stock, I just pick up 2 packs, so I have 4 on standby most of the time anyway. So, you know, that's just kind of part of the design of the Revo, I guess. I did break one arm so far. It was the right rear lower arm. I had one in stock, so I just went ahead and I threw that back on. Wing mounts. If you land on the back, you will snap the wing mount, which kind of sucks. It's not too expensive, so it's something you might want to have in stock just in case, because it will happen eventually if you bash hard. I bent the tie rod ends, a couple of them, the tow bar rather, and yeah, that kind of sucks. I'm hoping RPM comes out with some new arms that will eliminate those soon, but for now I just kind of replace them, but they don't bend too often. It all depends on how you crash. The stock chassis brace, I broke that, replaced it with the Traxxas aluminum one. I bent one of those real bad. I replaced it, and I haven't had any problems since. And the diff cups for the drive cups, they seem to kind of bend and start to gap out, and you get a lot of slop in there, so I've replaced those. Other than that, the truck's been holding up pretty solid. I will pull the camera in here, and I will walk you through everything that is going on currently with my rig. Okay, so here's my Revo. You got your clipless body. Now this is one feature I do not like. It's kind of a pain when you go to put it on. You have to get this piece to slide underneath, and it's not as simple like just put it on and go ahead. You really have to kind of fiddle with it. Time you do all that, you could just throw your body clips in, but then again, I guess they're sticking out, something that could break. The body's held up good. This hole here is my own doing. I tried to put a GoPro mount on there, and it just wound up ripping out. But this part of the cage here really seems to hold up. I got some washers here because these will pull through. They do have body saver ones you can put on there. I didn't know that until after I kind of rigged up these washers, so I would highly recommend that. I did go ahead and do some reinforcement, flex seal, and drywall tape and shoe glue and all that fun stuff on the inside. So I guess that's kind of maybe why it's held up. Okay, starting in the front here, I got this Hot Racing aluminum body post brace. I kind of ordered that by mistake because I thought it was the rear. I broke the rear, but I ordered this front one, so that's been on there. That's been holding up. I got Hot Racing shock rod ends here. You will stretch out the stock ones eventually. I put those Hot Racing ones on. I don't have them in the rear yet, but I do have to get them. I have stretched out one that I had to replace, but these are the upgraded shocks from Traxxas with the titanium coated shafts. So I just popped one off the stock and then threw it on here, so I didn't have to buy any. For my servo here, The stock ones did not break on me, but they just are not strong, so I'm going with this single Savox here. This one's much better. I am going to swap this out for a little bit more stronger one on some lower volts. I'm not quite sure if this ESC is putting out enough power to this servo, because it's got 477 ounce torque at 7.4 volts. Otherwise, it's only 277, which is still more than stock. But the other Savox one I'm going to go with does, at 6 volts, it will do 500 ounces. So I'm going to swap that out. Here's the chassis brace, Proline Badland tires. And then on the servo side here, I did install, can't really see it. I did install, there it is, that aluminum servo horn on there. So another upgrade I have done here is in the back I have the black springs, and I took the stock rear springs and moved them up front. It's still a little squishy, but it's actually pretty good. I'm liking this setup. I do have the purples. I think I might move the black up front and go purples in the rear and really stiffen it up, but for now this seems to be working. My wing has taken some damage, as you can see here. I had a wheelie bar on there, but it doesn't stay on very good, so I haven't been using that. But overall, the truck has held up really good. Like I said, I broke one arm and then just a couple of other little things. But once you get this thing set up, it's a lot better. So what I did is I changed the diff fluid in the front and rear to 60K. I will swap out the transmission. I just haven't got to it yet. They were out of stock, so I haven't had a chance to pick anything else up. So inside here, I do have a metal spur gear, the stock 54 tooth, I believe, and I did bump up one on the pinion on my motor. So those mods right there really helped the truck out a lot. And it's, you know, it's been holding up. I've been doing a lot of bashing with it lately, hitting some big air, and I bent one arm. That's it. After I took care of all the other issues, I think one problem is with the diff cup stretching out was the self-righting system, so I'm not using that anymore. I think that that's kind of too much on the truck. I'm not really a fan of that. I don't think anyone else is really either. So if you have one of these, I do not recommend using the self-righting system. But other than that, I can attest to the durability of this truck, and I think it is definitely a great truck to own. So after you change out your diff fluid, you change the springs, you change the tires, you do a servo swap to something stronger, more reliable, the Revo 2.0 becomes a great truck. Stock is kind of a letdown, I'm not going to lie. I was disappointed at first with mine, but now that I have these mods going, I've been really back into it. It's been going strong, and I'm just going to keep bashing it and sending it and having lots of fun with it. I would recommend it to someone, but I also would recommend you look at everything on the market and consider your budget, your mechanical skills, and all those, you know, types of things before you go ahead and spend the $550 on the Revo. You could, depending upon what you have and all that, you could go with different setups, different trucks. It all depends. I like Traxxas, but I'm not loyal to Traxxas. I saw the Revo was coming out. I thought it was going to be a little bit better than it was. I didn't really look at anything else, which I kind of regret, but at the same time, I am having a lot of fun with this truck, so it's really not that big of a deal. I'm going to just keep rocking this thing, but like I said, I've been using it for quite some time now, so I just figured I'd give you guys like a long-term review here. So the long-term, the truck holds up. It's solid. It's a good rig. Out of a 1 to 10 scale, I would say this truck's probably sitting at about a 7. Factory, maybe a 5. But once you do some mods here, you get this thing rocking and rolling, you'll be very happy. So if you're stock, I definitely recommend doing some of the changes to your springs, your diff fluid, and it will definitely become a better rig. So I guess in conclusion, on the E Revo 2.0, like I said, it's sitting how my truck is now. I say it's an 8 out of 10. Factory, it's about a 5. But overall, it's a solid rig. And if you want one, just get one and enjoy it. You can't go wrong. Well, alright guys, thanks for tuning into this video. Don't forget to like, leave a comment if you've got any questions about the Revo, and take it easy.